Mental health is normally misunderstood in Kenya. Have you ever heard somebody say, hawa wamerogwa, hayo ni mapepo, huyu amechizi, twende tukakunywe moja utatulia? For years, mental health struggles have been dismissed, misunderstood, and even feared. But the truth is, mental illness is real, but seeking help is not a sign of weakness, it's an act of courage. Welcome back to Caroline Unlocked, your mental health practitioner, go-to space for mental health, self-awareness, and personal growth. If you're new here, kindly consider subscribing, and if you're a returning subscriber, thank you for being part of the community. Today we are breaking down how Kenyan culture influences mental health both positively and negatively. We'll also explore ways in which we can change the conversation. Welcome to the channel. My co-host Fluffy is chilling on my lap, so he's present. Let's pray he doesn't become noisy as usual. Karibuni. We'll start by looking at mental health stigma in Kenya. Mental health issues are often associated with weaknesses, curses, or even witchcraft. Many people fear being labeled as crazy or possessed and end up suffering in silence. Some common cultural beliefs that contribute to this stigma include spiritual and superstitious beliefs. Some communities believe mental illness is caused by curses, bad omens, witchcraft, or even demonic possession. Toughen up mentality. Men especially are told to toughen up, to man up, and suppress their emotions. Family reputation, where many families hide their mentally ill or those suffering from mental health conditions to avoid shame and embarrassment from society. Misinformation and lack of awareness. Most people don't understand mental illness like anxiety, depression, bipolar disorder, etc., leading to myths and misconceptions about the mental illness. Because of this, many Kenyans never seek professional help, relying instead on self-medication, substance use and abuse, or even silence. Next, we'll look at how culture shapes our coping mechanisms. Culture isn't always negative. There are also strengths in how we handle mental health. Let's look at both sides of this coin. One is community support. Families and elders play a big role in offering guidance and emotional support. Therefore, if you come from a family or a community that recognizes mental health challenges, it is very effective in helping you seek out help. Number two, religion and faith. Prayers and spiritual practices bring comfort, though they shouldn't be used to replace medical intervention. 3. Storytelling and oral tradition. Sharing personal struggles in communal settings can be healing. This, as much as it's a traditional view, it's also used in the modern day and age to bring people who are going through the same struggles together, and talking about it, sharing their struggles can help an individual amongst them go through their struggles in a more positive and healing way. Let's look at some modern challenges. One of the biggest modern challenge, I would say, is modernization and isolation. More Kenyans are moving to the city, to the urban areas, away from their social support system, and this moves makes it harder for most individuals to be able to form new support systems in the urban areas. Number two, increased stress. Job pressure, financial struggles, and societal expectations contributes anxiety and depression. 3. Social media versus reality. People compare themselves to unrealistic online standards, leading to self-doubt. We want to live the lives we see people living online, and that in itself can lead to struggles. We want to post something and have as many likes as possible, as many follows, subscriptions as possible, and basing our self-worth on online expectation is part of what brings about mental health challenges. So how do we balance tradition and modernity to improve mental health? We'll move on to the role of therapy and professional help. One of the biggest shifts we need in Kenya is normalizing therapy and counseling. Just like we see a doctor for our physical illness, we should see a therapist for our mental well-being. And as we've discussed in a previous video, physical health and mental health are married, and neglecting one ends up being an issue for the other. What are the facts about mental health in Kenya? According to the Ministry of Health, 1 in 4 Kenyans will experience a mental health condition in their lifetime. Kenya has less than 500 psychiatrists for a population of over 50 million individuals. At least I know for a fact that the number of psychiatrists and counselors has been increasing over the years, and we are embracing mental health more than we used to about 2 years back. So it's not all dark and gloom. There's change, and we work together towards more positivity. Some public hospitals now offer mental health services, but awareness is still low. We must break the mindset that therapy and counseling is for the rich or for the crazy people. It's for anyone who wants to improve their mental well-being. How do we change the conversation? How do you change the conversation? So what can we do as individuals and as a society to break the stigma around mental health? Start the conversation. Talk openly about mental health challenges to families, to friends, and at our workplaces. Make the first move by talking about it. Me making these videos is my move to start the conversation, to get people to talk about it, and in so doing, we will have made the first step towards breaking the stigma. Number 2, we educate ourselves, hence educating others. Learn about different mental health conditions and how they can be managed, and by so doing, by educating yourself, you can help educate the next person, and with that, there will be more people aware of mental health struggles. Support, do not shame. If someone shares their mental health struggles with you, do not shame them. Support them, and the least you can do is to listen without judgment and try and empathize with the individual that has shared their struggles. Next, let us seek help without fear. Normalize visiting your counselor, your therapist, your psychiatrist, and by so doing, we'll be making a bigger step towards breaking the stigma within our country. Use social media positively. Follow pages that promote mental health awareness and that share helpful information. Even some of our local influencers, as much as they talk about their daily lives, a lot of them talk about their mental health struggles, about seeing therapists, about seeking help, about the importance of self-care, which is really important in the mental health space. Change starts with each one of us. It starts with me, it starts with you. When we shift our mindset, we help those around us feel safe and feel supported. And that is one of the biggest steps you can make towards shifting stigma that is around mental health in our country. What is a common myth that you've heard about mental health? Drop it in the comments below and we'll talk about it. If you found this video insightful, give us a thumbs up. Feel free to share it with a friend who needs it. And if you're passionate about mental health, make sure to subscribe for more content like this. Until next time, take care of your mind. It's just as important as your body. From my co-host and I, Fluffy, it's bye-bye. See you on the next one. Ciao.